So being Australian, obviously I have a lot of Australian Thomas DVDs, and I thought I would do a video about interesting facts about them. Without further ado, let's go. As far as I know, the Australian copy of Season 6 is the only Thomas DVD in the world to not be region locked, and it will work in any player, which is so cool. The first version of Carnival Capers, and I'll show an image on screen, has Percy, Rocky, and Rosie, even though I'm pretty sure Rocky and Rosie aren't on any of the episodes on this DVD. They most likely got it from the American DVD, which does have them. Also, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Carnival Capers is the only Australian DVD to primarily come in a purple case. I say primarily because sometimes you get an Australian Thomas DVD and they get the wrong colour case. That is normal. They probably just ran out of that colour and they just slapped the new colour on. That's very normal in Australia. Also, Carnival Capers and Merry Winter Wish are, I'm pretty sure, the only Australian DVDs not to list the episodes on the back. The Very Best of Thomas and The Great Discovery, the standard cases and the carry cases have completely different art. Season 8 is actually the very last Thomas DVD to have the very first ABC for Kids logo. This is the first ABC for Kids logo, and they used it for a very long time, and this is the last Thomas DVD to have that, which is kind of sad. The ABC Just for Fun compilation DVD is actually the first time we got the episodes Thomas, Percy and the Squeak, and Duncan. And interestingly, Thomas, Percy and the Squeak is misspelled as Thomas, Percy and Squeak. Also, I know this is not a DVD fact, it's actually a VHS tape fact, but I need to point this out. When you got the Season 4 videos when they first came out, Thomas and Special Letter, Thomas and Stephanie, and I Don't Have It But Rock and Roll, there was a small chance you could get tickets to go to the UK for a day with Thomas event. I'll play the advert.
Your family could win a holiday to meet Thomas in England, flying Lauder Air. Details inside every video.
This will be the last tape fact, I promise, okay? The Thomas Playtime VHS said the commercial advertised this was the very first Thomas video in Australia with sing-along songs.
Thomas the Tank Engine Playtime, the first ever Thomas video in Australia with sing-alongs.
But that's not actually true because sing-along stories had come out a little bit before. Also, this will hopefully be the last time I talk about Carnival Capers, but I can't promise this. Carnival Capers and Thomas in Charge are the only DVDs to have the ABC Kids logo up there and not down there. The very first Thomas DVD in Australia, Thomas and the Jet Engine, originally came in one of the standard cases like this. But by the time it finally got a carry case DVD, the logo had changed, so they had to put the new logo. And as far as my knowledge, this is the only time something like this has happened with Thomas DVDs in Australia. A similar-ish story to the last one, Season 1 to 3 of Thomas actually got re-released with the new logo like that, but they were still in carry cases, and the disc arts, the color has slightly changed, but when you pop it into the player, they look exactly the same. The standard case version of Twin Trouble had room to put Salty up there, but unfortunately he was cut for the carry case version, which is completely understandable. The normal full case version of PP Party has the 60th anniversary label, but not the carry case. But both versions do have it on the disc. Like, the discs are exactly the same between the two. Engines to the Rescue. You might know this is also a UK DVD, and at the end of every episode on the UK DVD, they have like the Nick Jr. UK logo. That's actually still kept on the Australian one, even though Thomas or Nick Jr. in Australia didn't last very long. So I put it into my player. As you can see, Nick Jr. UK. Yeah, they did not bother to change this DVD. And if, like me, the way you got Engines to the Rescue was getting it in this bundle pack, the back of the box actually lists the episodes all wrong, probably because of space reasons, because that is a completely different episode order. Also, the UK Engines to the Rescue has a promo for UK Day with Thomas. They did not bother to change it to an Australian promo or cut it out for the Australian release. They just kept the UK promo. You can't see these engines in Australia, god damn it. Also, Thomas and the Jet Engine is kind of a lazy cover because they have a picture of It's Only Snow, which is not on this release, and Salty is mirrored on the back. Does this matter? No, but it's interesting. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the episode Dirty Work is actually the episode that's on the most Australian Thomas releases. It's on Season 2, The Very Best of Thomas, The Best of Thomas Volume 1, and My First Thomas with Diesel. All these DVDs have the episode Dirty Work on them. I almost butchered that, my bad. Also, The World's Strongest Engine has also been on a lot of DVDs. It's on these 3 DVDs. And Flower Power has been on these 3 DVDs. And coincidentally, all the episodes I've talked about have been on this DVD, which is kind of interesting. Rusty to the Rescue is actually the first Australian Thomas DVD with the new Hit Entertainment logo. And also it has Only Snow, which is also on Season 6. and Engines to the Rescue. So that's another episode that's been on a lot of releases. Also, I'm pretty sure Rusty to the Rescue was very rushed because 1, it's got the very common stock art. 2, it was originally called Faulty Whistles. Then it was Rusty Saves the Day. They changed the name. And also, Duncan is out of sync on this DVD. And they just stole these 3 images from the very best of Thomas. So yeah, pretty rushed DVD if you ask me. The carry case version of Thomas and the Magic Railroad cuts off these lieutenant ladies' faces because of the logos. As you can see, the normal one does not have that problem. The reason that Calling All Engines in season 12 they have so much blank space is because when they first came to Australia, they originally carry case DVDs and the poster art was much shorter. But when they came to the regular one, they just stretched it out, and that's why there's so much blank space on them. Also, the complete series 12 is also interesting for a couple of other reasons, because that standard case I was talking about, that was actually only available in a box set for season 8 to 11 as well. Also, you can actually see another Thomas there if you look closely. Also, this was the last complete series DVD we ever got in Australia. And guess what? I just remembered. It doesn't list the episodes on the back. So that's another DVD they forgot to list the episodes on. This doesn't matter. It's just, this is something that's always bugged the hell out of me. I just want to tell you about it. It's always bugged me that Gordon is the only engine facing this way, but every other engine, even Thomas, is facing that way. Gordon's facing that way for no reason. It just kind of bugs me. So, as you might know, the 2 Jack in the Pack episodes that weren't on this DVD were released on a promotional sampler. That sampler never came to Australia, so those episodes were never put on any DVD, which is kind of sad. A lot of Australian Thomas DVDs, these are the 3 I have as examples, have a very, very small error where they say they have no subtitles. All of these say they don't have subtitles, when they actually do. And speaking of subtitles, that leads us on to this. Now, we all know I'm the funny driver photo guy, so of course I have to point this out. The subtitles literally has a different angle of the driver photo. That's the driver photo on a slightly different angle, which is awesome. And by the way, if you're asking, that is the exact same frame I used in the driver photo video in this scene. I still kept it. I'll show you the scene. I mean, I have it framed on my desk, so you can tell I really like it, can't you? And I actually did a very small video on this next fact. On Thomas and the Jet Engine, there's actually a goof in the subtitles. You can see right here. Thomas toots his horn. I'm pretty sure we all know Thomas doesn't have a horn. I'll give them this pass this one time because this was their very first DVD ever made in Australia. But I can't give it a pass if it ever happens again. Also, last fact I'll mention about the Complete Series 6 DVD. From this DVD onwards, every time there's a Season 6 episode on a DVD, the intro just has Thomas and Friends. It just has this logo. But every time Season 6 was put on home media prior to this, they had the full Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends logo, which I found pretty interesting. Now, this next DVD is technically a Thomas DVD, and I'll explain why. So, this is Giggle and Hoot. Now, Giggle and Hoot is an Australian kids show. So, basically, what happens is Giggle and Hoot do something and it cuts to an episode of another show. So they all have episodes of different ABC for kids shows. This is the only Giggle and Hoot DVD to have a Thomas episode, and the Thomas episode is Buzzy Bee, so that's why I got this one. And now this fact is actually not for a DVD or even a VHS, it's a book. But I just need to mention this because I'm never going to have a chance to mention it again. So this is the 1999 annual. Oh wait, no it isn't. When the 1999 annual came to Australia, they renamed it as a bumper book for some reason and stuck the ABC for Kids logo. That kind of makes sense, but why they call it a bumper book, I have no idea. Again, this next one is not a fact about Australian Thomas DVDs, but it is a fact about DVDs, so it's kind of still related, and I just want to bring this up because why not? The Hong Kong cover for The Great Discovery is kind of a combination between the US and the UK covers, and it looks absolutely awesome as a result. The Hong Kong DVD for The Great Discovery looks dope. I want it. Like, look at that. This guy... Chef's kiss. Okay, that's enough of me talking about my favorite Thomas movie for the 10,000th time. I love this thing to death, as you can tell. And this will be the last fact for the video. The Truckloads of Fun Australian DVD is pretty much just a deluxe version of the UK one, because not only does it have a different cover and a different menu, it has extra songs. The UK one only has Accidents Will Happen. This one has Accidents Will Happen, The Snow Song, and Sir Topham Hatt. So it's got extra songs, but the episodes are exactly the same. So yeah, that was the last fact of the video. Wow, this video is like 10 minutes long. That was way longer than I expected, but I hope you learned something new about Thomas DVDs. I certainly did researching for this video, and I also had a lot of fun making it. So hope to see you guys next time, and bye-bye.